Hello everybody and welcome to episode 7 of Monifactory. We've got lots of stuff to do today. So in between episodes I spent the time and added even more machines to the auto crafting wall. This is soon going to be migrated to parallel processing, but for the first iteration of auto crafting I'm just going to have one machine of each recipe. Yeah, back here it's starting to get kind of crazy with pattern providers and just patterns and everything. And I also over here spent a little bit more time actually auto-crafting using these extended inscribers. These things are so good because they can have more than one crafting job. So for the first one, it's just all of the presses. So silicon, engineering, calculation, and logic. And then this one will just be sent, it will just go into all of the crafting jobs. So yeah, even this has capable parallel processing for each processor, which is really good. But enough of stuff which I've done in between episodes. Something which I have noticed is I'm starting to run out of diamonds, which are currently what power the base. That's not good, so I really need to go and improve that. But before I do that, I'd like to get the next tier of circuits. Yeah, currently I'm using the integrated tier of circuit. So it's okay doing this, but it would be much better if I could actually make the next tier, which is, what is it, a microprocessor? Yes, that's the next tier, microprocessor. So this isn't too bad. I'm not able to do the sock recipe, but I will be able to do this one. Yeah, what do I need to automate for this? Most of the stuff is going to be auto-crafted. I think the resistors, transistors, and capacitors, they'll be auto-crafted. So it's the plastic circuit board plus the CPUs I'm going to set up on passive. Yeah, this needs, for the plastic printed circuit board, I need to set up iron 3 chloride. So I guess, yeah, let's set up iron 3 chloride. I'll set up the plastic circuit boards on passive. I'm not sure, I might make the PVC sheets. Yeah, PVC shouldn't be too hard to make actually. So yeah. I'm going to go and set all of these up. Oh my, that was quite something setting up the automation for all of this. Especially the priorities for everything. So yeah, I've just added it on top of this wall. This wall is starting to get quite chaotic, I'd say. The way that this is set up, it's using the same, so there's a primary producer and then a byproduct. So all of these ones are primary producers. So they will extract from here last. And everything which is bound to this draw controller is the ones which it will prioritize taking out of first. So yeah, it was just figuring everything out. But at the end of this is the polyvinyl chloride sheets. And I'm also using, it's gas tiers. Gas tiers inside this chemical reactor to produce the salt water. Oh, I actually need to, I put the trash can away. Yeah, I'm not going to bother keeping the outputs from this. It's tiny piles of potassium and lithium, which I already have set up on passive anyway somewhere. I'm pretty sure that I do. Yeah, this is PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Yeah, this is one of the components for setting up passive printed circuit boards. I'm getting there for these circuits. And just as a reminder, this is also, I'm down to 739 diamonds now. I'm going to be cutting it close. I'm doing all of this so that I can start making machines and improve how I produce the, what is it? Pulsating prediction matrix? PPM? Yeah, it is that. Yeah, I need to start producing more of that. I forgot to add the iron 3 chloride to this setup. So yeah, I wasn't recording when I added it. It's just 2 chemical reactors. Iron 3 chloride is really easy to make. As long as the iron I have on passive, that's passive over there. And the hydrogen is going to be closed loop in this setup. So it just flows in between these chemical reactors continuously. This only consumes chlorine, which is set up on passive. But having iron 3 chloride now means that I can finally set up the circuit boards to be on passive. Yeah, it's just 2 chemical reactors and a bending machine. This bending machine is going to be making copper foil. Yeah, copper foil on passive, and you know what, I suppose 2000 copper foil is not going to be terrible, me stocking that much in the ME system. I suppose it's not really being used for auto crafting. Yeah, I'll only stack. If I do a downgrade... Oh, need space. There we go. So 1 downgrade, then... Yeah, 512. I don't mind that. Not 2000. I don't need a lot of that being stocked. Then this one will just take in copper foil. And I also need the PVC sheets. And while I'm here, I'm also going to set the request for the plastic circuit board. Up here, I just need to add the copper foil and all of the other items. So plastic circuit boards in there. That's also the quest. Plastic printed circuit boards. That's what I'm after. All of this, and what are the uses for this? There's no other use. Okay, downgrade. Yep, there's no other uses for the, what are these, plastic circuit boards. So I'm going to lower that to 64. These, on the other hand, I'm going to... How much? 60. Okay, yeah. I'll do one upgrade. 16,000 it can store of them. So slowly over time, I'll start accumulating them circuit boards, which is good because I'm going to need a lot of them moving forward because they're going to be used for all of the higher tier circuits from now on. Speaking of circuits, I also prepared a advanced circuit assembler, a medium voltage one. This is in preparation for the higher tier circuits. That's also the quest. So I also need these capacitors, so I'll just set a pattern for them. Polyethylene, aluminium foil, and thin polyethylene sheets. So I cannot go to the supercomputer because that requires the clean room. But I can at least make the microprocessor... microchip processor. That's the low voltage equivalent for this tier. And I should also be able to make the pattern for the microprocessor. And I should also have everything for the microprocessor assembly. And remember what I said about the, what are these? The universal circuits last episode? So all of the patterns are currently using this. So all I need to do is upgrade these 3 patterns using the microprocessor counterpart. And something which I know takes a fair amount of materials is these loop fabricators. I'm going to want a lot of these. There's tin wires plus resistors I'm missing. Oh, and actually, before I go and request anything, let's get the capacitor and let's actually do the quests. Not too difficult to autocraft this. Yep, so these are the capacitors. Right, microchip processor. And the microprocessors, I'll send an autocraft for them. And I'll also request the microprocessor assembly. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, that also needs the inductors. Okay, that should be fine though. And a little while later, I now have the inductors. That should also be the quest. And then I should be able to request the microprocessor assembly. Oh yeah, there they are. Microprocessor assemblies. That means that I can make the entire set of, well, nearly. I can make more than half of the entire set of microprocessors. And that does also mean that the next step in getting higher tier circuits is going to require the clean room. Yeah. Actually, I've never built a clean room while I've been recording, so I will actually be able to build the clean room. It's just a lot of polyethylene, really, and liquid concrete. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that today. I'll be saving that for another day, not this day. Yeah, I'm going to be using these circuits, so the next step is I need to start scaling up how many simulation chambers I have. Yeah, so this is the existing setup for pulsating prediction matrix, isn't it? Yeah, this is the existing setup. So I think I'm gonna move. I am gonna move this, everything which is here. I'm not gonna do that. You saw me build this one once before, so I'm gonna basically do that off camera. And I also need to move all of these. Yeah, I'll get that done off camera, and I'm gonna probably move these over into the new section of the base. There are also a lot more materials which I'd like to start producing from this, so I'll cover all of them. New day, new recording. Yes, it has actually been 24 hours since I was last playing this. I've been trying to leave the world run a little bit after automating the new pulsating prediction matrix. And sorry about my voice, it's very early in the morning for me and I might sound a little bit croaky again. But anyway, yes, this is PPM production, which I've upgraded. So it's built pretty much the same way as the last one. So it's the exact same processing chain, except I've just planned for, as you can see, a lot more machines which actually produce the prediction matrix, which is much better. This has got the throughput which I need, because I'm going to be having a lot more simulation chambers running. So yeah, this took, I want to say, about an hour and a half to build to try and get everything, to try and get all of the logic. And one thing which I am still learning about is these framed trapdoors. Yes, got there eventually. Yeah, I'm learning about the building techniques, and so I'm using these framed trapdoors to hide the laser nodes. Without them, this would actually be quite difficult to hide them. So yeah, instead of doing a block behind the laser node, I'm doing these in front, which means that I can still have access to actually change things in here. Yeah, it completely covers that up. You wouldn't even notice, I don't think. Not unless you are up really close, you'd see the depth of these. But yeah, that is all well and good for PPM production. Now let's move on to the simulation chambers and the new room which I've been preparing for all of this. So this was the secret project which I mentioned last episode. It's building this room. This is feeling quite good for actually something which I've built. So all of this is to house, it's a lot of the simulation chambers, because I'm confident that I'm going to have a lot of these. I mean, I already have, 10 simulation chambers set up, or 10 different data models which I need running. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with this room and how this turned out. And another thing down here, so I'm using the trapdoors again. This is also really good because when I was actually building this, so originally these drawers were underneath. I ended up moving them so that I could have more than one, or it's so that I could have them all funnel into one drawer instead of having duplicate drawers of diamonds, for instance, underneath every loot fabricator which I have. So it's all funneled using the item conduits on the back. There really isn't a better alternative to doing this. Something which is... See, the laser nodes are good, but they're only good for bringing in... what is it? So there's an extra card there. The laser nodes are only good for bringing in the prediction matrix because of the channels. And I did this in a way which is easy to automate in the future. It's easy for expandability. Yeah, the item conduits are... I mean, they're okay. They're okay to use. But if I move away, they just have a weird rendering difficulty for some of the vertical ones. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy with how this turned out. This is such a good... It's such a better building which I've ever built. This is the first one where it's like, actually, wow, I've taken into account things like depth. I've planned like, yeah, I've done a lot of planning for this one. So yeah, this is, I think this has to be by far my best building, which I've done so far. Yeah, enough of building. And speaking about the simulation chambers, there are a couple more data models which I'd actually like to set up moving forward. As I was saying before I got interrupted then, there are a couple data models which I want to start making, and I've queued them up here. So Creeper for coal, skeleton for tin, and wither skeleton for lead. I remember setting up a wither skeleton data model quite a while, well, not setting up, but I remember crafting this one ages ago, but I never had the space or the PPM production to actually be able to run this one. So that's why I'm doing it now. And these are also as simple as, all I need to do is place the data model inside one of these simulation chambers. And it will immediately start getting the pulsating prediction matrix and start running, and the pristine... Are they pristines? The predictions will automatically be sent into the loot fabricator below. So that's Creeper, this one's Skeleton, and this one is Wither. And while I'm here, I'm also going to swap this gas tier fabricator, which is currently running gas data models. Well, actually, I'm going to swap this to producing me the silver ingots instead of the gas tiers, because I have a better solution to produce gas tiers. Let's pick that one up. Yeah, so instead of doing gas for gas tiers, I'm going to actually do spiders for gas tiers. I know, a little bit confusing, but we'll get there eventually for the recipe I'm after. So this one is going to be producing spider eyes, which I actually want anyway, so that I can start producing even more spider data models. So these will also be useful in that way. And I've also swapped, which one? The zombie one. So instead of this one producing iron ingots directly, it's going to be producing rotten flesh. And to actually automate these, so it's been a while. I don't actually think that I've ever really used this to automate the production of crafting recipes. Not in the sense of auto crafting, in the sense of actually passive setups. But yeah, I'm going to have to be using these molecular assemblers because, well, Ender IO is supposed to be a little bit glitchy in this version, and these will have an incredible throughput if I upgrade these to the extended crafting variants. They can run 8 parallels each. Yeah, because I never use these, I have vague memory on how these actually work. So I believe they need to be given a pattern for that specific recipe. If I just give... I've already prepared these patterns, so gas tiers are going to be made in here now. Spider eye, sugar, and hellish matter. Sugar is easy, sugar is just sugarcane. Gold is going to be made using glowstone dust, iron ingots, and hellish matter. And then iron is now going to be made using rotten flesh plus overworldian matter. Yeah, this is the footprint of what I'm going to be using. And from what I understand, these will run they will continuously run based on the materials which are currently in the ME system. So I do not want this hooked up directly to mainnet, because this will also output there, which is why I have an interface and a storage bus. Well, 2 storage buses actually. You know what? It's been so long, I don't even know what I was saying then. They do not work at all like that. So, and this is actually quite useful. They have an internal GUI. I should have looked at this sooner. They have an open guide here, and it tells you how they actually work. So it says that they don't work by just putting a pattern in and they'll immediately start crafting. You have to actually pump the items into the molecular assembler, and it will automatically output them to adjacent inventories. So I'm hoping that they will not interfere with each other. Like this one's, I hope it's going to automatically output to here first, and it doesn't get stuck when this one's running. But that does mean that I don't need this storage controller here. I don't think that's required. Yeah, this is still going up. Yeah, I don't need any of this infrastructure. In fact, this doesn't even need to be on the subnet. Well, that is quite good for automating. I'm definitely going to be using these more. Yeah, like I've said, I don't use them that much, so that was very new to me how you actually passive set up these. And so it happened. Hello everyone, just getting back in the swing of things. So this is after the new year, and it's also after Christmas. I had a little bit of a break from doing the recording. If I'm honest with you, I got a little bit carried away with mod pack creation. I've been doing a lot of mod pack sort of development over Christmas, and this was basically put on pretty much the back seat, so I really didn't do much playing of this over Christmas and just after the new year. Yeah, I'm getting back in the swing of things. It's time for me to do some more Monifactory, which is actually Monifactory. Wrong mod pack. So there was a couple of things which I added over Christmas. I didn't do much. I only added, so these are all of the circuits and all of the silicon stuff which is being processed. I added annealed copper, wrought iron, liquid glass, glass panes, and tempered glass. The liquid glass and the glass panes are both being used for GregTech's lamps. I've been crafting quite a few of these because I've been getting ready to basically change the lamps around the base. So I don't mind requesting loads of these. They're really easy to make actually. And plus, who doesn't love shaders when you can do this? Get ready for it. Yeah, this is the base when shaders. This is the color which I was going for originally, but I couldn't make them because I didn't want to set up the materials on passive. But yeah, I also don't share a lot of the shaders, so I think I'm going to keep the shaders off when I'm actually recording. These are only going to be sort of for, I don't know, like screenshots of the base. It does look really cool though, this being like a blue. And one last thing which I got up to, I ended up fixing up this, what are these, the crafting CPUs. So I added a crafting monitor to all of them, added an extra crafting storage, and some coprocessors so that actually fits in the slot properly. So yeah, this is the reason why I wanted to design it with this border. You can see that it's made a perfect square in here, which I love. It looks so good for aesthetics in this part of the base. And as I've been doing this, I've been realizing that I'm getting very close to high voltage. So there are a couple of machines which I need to set up. I don't need to set these up on passive. I could also craft them, but I might as well set them up on passive because, yeah, I'm just going for passive automation all the time now. There are a couple of materials which I actually need to start producing for high voltage machines. one of which isn't 100% essential, but I'm going to do it anyway. So that is this ferrite mixture. Yeah, making this nickel zinc ferrite mixture isn't really that difficult. It's just circuit to iron, nickel, and zinc inside a mixer. And you may notice all of these items in my inventory. I do need to make another EBF for this. I need to make a couple of EBFs actually for obtaining the materials for high voltage. And just like that, nickel zinc ferrite is now on passive. Now, yeah, this is one of the materials which not essential for high voltage. I'm mainly after it so that I can actually start producing this more efficient recipe for inductors. So at the moment I'm using steel rings, so they're only producing 4 inductors at a time. With the nickel zinc ferrite rings, I can produce 8 at a time, so that's double. Right, back to the passive machines. So another material which I need to start producing is electrum. Electrum is easy again. Electrum is gold plus silver. And while I'm here, I'm also going to start producing some other materials which I'm going to start needing very soon in mass quantities. So let's start off with this steel ingot. Steel ingots, the inputs for these are wrought iron. And you could use regular iron, but I have wrought iron already on passive, so I might as well use this. It's a slightly faster recipe if you do that. And lastly, coal for this one. Up next is conductive iron. Conductive iron is just iron plus redstone. This one's even more easy. And all of these materials now I have on passive. Hence the reason why I'm spending the time to actually invest in these materials. Second to last is going to be red alloy ingots. These are made from copper plus redstone. And lastly, I'm going to set up inside an atomic reconstructor gold, which will then start producing me void crystals. And the reason why I want void crystals on passive is so that I can actually start producing dark steel on passive. Since the recipe for dark steel is steel plus void crystals, since the recipe of choice for me is going to be the one which uses void crystals, and this is the reason why I'm using void crystals instead of obsidian. Void crystals can be made in the atomic reconstructor using coal, which I've already said. Coal is passivable through, I think it's creeper predictions, isn't it? Yeah, creeper predictions, which is what I have set up. And it produces quite a lot of coal. Compared to me jumping through the hoops to set up obsidian on passive, it will be set up on passive once I get this rock breaker recipe. But for the moment, I basically want to use as little obsidian as I can. Yeah, hence the reason why I'm using void crystals, because it's much, much easier to set up on passive. I have one more material left to set up on passive for all of these high voltage machines. Can you guess which one it is? If you guess stainless steel, you are correct. That is the one which I need to set up. Now, all things considered, stainless steel isn't too bad. It's just iron, chrome, manganese, and nickel. So the chrome, I have 913. I should go back to the end and mine some more chromite, because that's where I'm getting the chromite from. Nickel is on passive from DML, which is actually HNN. You know what? I don't think I actually have a slime prediction there. Okay, that's going to go on my list then. I want a slime prediction so that I can start producing nickel on passive. And then the manganese for this, I don't have a lot of manganese. And that recipe is 30 seconds. It does produce 9 though. So yeah, this will be stainless steel dust. This wall is starting to look good though, isn't it? Got a row of 5 EBFs on the bottom here. Yep, so one more EBF time. There we go. Passive stainless steel. Yeah, this is going to be the building block of all high voltage machines and high voltage components for all of the machines. Oh, I can't make that. That requires signalum. Yeah, so since this is going to take, like, each ingot is 55 seconds, this is going to take a little bit of time to accumulate some stainless steel. I'm going to end the episode here, because there's still quite a few things which I could be doing, but I'm not gonna include them into the video. Like, I want to set up some more materials of the lower tier, the lower end materials, so that they're on passive, like copper, nickel, bronze, invar, things like that. So yeah, I'll call it here. Oh, and because I will also announce this, because of the new year and Christmas, my video schedule, I won't be able to upload this for a little while, or I won't be uploading a little while later, because things are going to be like trying to normalize things the way things are at the moment. So yeah, it might be a little while till you see this video and subsequent ones in the future. So keep that in mind. But anyway, with all of that being said, I hope you've all thoroughly enjoyed today's episode as much as I've enjoyed playing it, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Take care, everyone.